Hello, Muster0063 back for part 11 of Mega Man and Bass, and good grief, it's time for King 2. This stage is freaking ridiculous. I'm going to have a rant at a certain point in the stage because I need to kill some time, believe me, and I apologise for that. But first off, let's deal with the actual stage itself. There's way too many enemies here. The hopping enemies, the goo dispensers, rhinos, you name it. Admittedly, the first part isn't so bad, I guess, on the enemies, but still, it gets pretty ridiculous at certain points. And I'm taking this opportunity to just slide through gradually and replenish all the weapons that I'm going to need, because I'm going to need weapons. Oh boy, am I going to need them. Ho 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 ho. And I was too slow there to get out, so I got hit by the goo dispenser. Yay. Now, two sides to this climbing section. On the right-hand side, you can use Bass. On the left-hand side, you have to use Mega Man. And how on earth you're actually supposed to get up there without taking damage, without using weapons, I do not know. But yeah, obviously, in theory, you could get out weapons, and probably the lightning bolt is probably a good idea. Just clear all the enemies out of the way. But still, I don't know how on earth you're meant to take out that gorilla when climbing up that ladder without taking a hit, without doing so. Probably that's the way to go. And also, there's a really freakingly placed enemy that comes on, and that kind of goo enemy, which we'll see here again actually. So this thing here crawling along on the floor, which comes out and tries to grab at you. So on this one I decided to get out Ice Wall and take care of it, since I'm not playing as Bass. I don't have a really handy way of dealing with this. Wave Burner's probably okay, but now I just figured Ice Wall would absolutely definitely do the trick. And I'm going to take out these stompers, which if they grab me will get rid of all my bolts and everything. Too slow there to get the weapon energy, and of course Mega Man can't make that jump, so yeah, get out Ice Wall and yeah, make it up. So at this point in time, I am going to changing up my power ability, or my special ability. So I'm putting on the use less weapon energy when you, less weapon energy depleted when you use it. So here we go. This is King Tank Part 1. This fight takes 7 minutes, and I apologise. I think my strategy is not exactly great, but this thing is freaking annoying. And yeah, I'm going to save my rant for the whole level and just generally what goes on about it here. But at least first let's talk about the King Tank itself. It has four compartments you need to take out. And I would certainly recommend, I think my strategy is okay at the beginning, taking out the treads of this thing first off. Basically, if you don't take out the treads and you're up on the higher level when you try and hit it, it can like dash at you. So it can kind of, or just die, kind of really drive fast at you. So if you take out the treads, they'll start smoking, and that means now that the tank will not dash at me really quickly in either direction, either backwards or forwards. I think that's a really good idea to take that part out first. Otherwise, when you're up there at the top, it can just dash at you. If it does, it'll make a sort of whirring noise, kind of thing. We'll hear it in the a bit later on as well. But yeah, if you hear that and you haven't taken out the treads, then it is going to dash at you. So. Yeah, and you can't really hit it at that point in time, and it moves incredibly fast. And if you take any damage from the King Tank itself, it hurts like hell, and yeah, you'll be suffering, believe me. So I think that's okay for the first part. My strategy's okay there. Take out the treads. The other areas it's got, so let's talk about this one first. It's got this back compartment where it sends out these rompers, and unfortunately I was way too slow there to take it out. We saw it actually earlier, and I was able to take them out quickly with the Mega Buster and get some damage on that back compartment. There I wasn't. Unfortunately, I got hit by one of the rompers and basically just got stuck there for about 5 seconds while it shook loose pretty much all my bolts and lost my opportunity to get some damage in, so yay. In theory, you could use Remote Mine. Tends to be a really good weapon for this tank, by the way. Almost for all compartments, but I just generally don't tend to like to use it on the back end of it. I can't really explain why. It just doesn't seem to work very well for me. But if you set the remote mine on the back of the tank, and it opens, then you'll be fine. But it never seems to quite work for me. And I always seem to get a little bit handicapped by the move set it does. I'm terribly unlucky like that when it comes to its move set. So anyway, other things it does is it shoots. It has this sort of phase you can't really see at the moment, unfortunately. But it kind of shoots, opens up its front, the red kind of gem area, and shoots out bullets at you. So you want to take that out. And you also, so here we go again. This is what it's doing now. And there's also an area at the top of it, like the dome of the tank, which kind of pops up, and then bombs come down from the ceiling. So this one, and you can see like maybe not there so much because I got out of well out of the way of them. But there's like fire that drops down the ladder as well, and you have to be out of the way of it, and it goes through the floor. So if you're directly under it, then you will take damage from that. Pretty much any damage you take to this thing is really freaking annoying, and I think that's probably why this ends up taking so long, because I'm desperately trying to avoid taking damage where possible, because you don't really have a ready-made like health or anything to regain yourself. You don't have E-tanks. Admittedly, you do have Eddie on standby, but you don't really want to use him to be honest at this point in the stage. Perhaps in hindsight, it probably is the best place for me to use Eddie on here. Maybe I could be a bit more gung-ho, get some attacks in, and maybe take some damage, but at least get some more in. But the problem with Eddie as well is that generally he can dish out like big health and big weapon energy. I always seem to find that Eddie just brings out little weapon energy, so I barely get any health refills. So that's another reason why I was so desperate to avoid taking damage. But yeah, the remote mine is probably what you want to try and use. The one weakness of it is that it has to be on screen, and it has to be like when the compartment is open. So if it detonates, or you set it on on part of the compartment, like for instance now. So if I set it on the back end of the compartment and it went all the way to the left, or it went off screen, the remote mine is then gone. The hit wouldn't register, so it's all a bit of a pain in the neck there. So yeah, this fight is just an absolute pain in the neck. I'd probably say it's probably my least favourite of the entire ones in this stage, and not necessarily from a difficulty point of view, but just from a tedious point of view, because as I say, I feel like I desperately need to avoid taking damage where possible, because if this thing hits you, it hurts like hell, and it never seems to do the move. So I was waiting there on the left hand side for it to open up the gem and fire its and fire off some bullets at me so I could attack it, but no, it just crawled all the way to the left hand side, didn't do that, so I had no opportunity to hit it. So yeah, I do tend to feel I'm quite unlucky with the moveset it does. And it did it again there. I was patiently waiting at the left-hand side for it to do that attack. No, didn't do it. Sorry, no hit for you. But anyway, since I've got about another 2 minutes, this is probably a good time to just rant about the stage in general. What on earth was Capcom thinking when they designed this stage? Seriously, there's way too many enemies all over the place during the level parts of it. There are four bosses. 3 of them are all incredibly annoying, all for their own different reasons. And there's 4 bosses split apart by 3 bits of level as well. It's just ridiculous. This level takes an absolute age when you know what you're doing. When you don't know what you're doing, even more so. One thing I should rant about this boss as well is that it doesn't have a health bar. So you never know how much damage you're doing to it. I mean, in theory, you can obviously see which areas are smoking, so you know which kind of areas you've taken out, and such like that. Didn't do a bloody move, by the way, so it just ran into me, yay. But you can't tell what his weakness is. You've either got to just experiment with all your weapons and hope for the best, or look it up, or something like that. But, the days when this first came out or whatever, there wouldn't be like guides available. How on earth do you know which weapon you're supposed to use? There's no way you can tell how much damage you're doing. Anyway, back to the level just as a whole. It is frankly ridiculous. It just goes on way too long. It is way too annoying. I don't know what they were thinking when they designed it. They could have easily split this into 2 bits. Easily. They could have had up to the end of maybe the second boss fight, and then made the bits after that another stage. Admittedly, that would have been a slightly shorter one, but still, just bunging this all together in one stage with 4 boss fights. As I said, 3 of them incredibly tedious, incredibly annoying. It's terrible. It's such a terrible stage. I'm sorry for the rant, but there's so little else to say on it, and thank God I think we're coming up to about the final hit now on this bloody tank. Jesus. Ugh, I hate that boss. I hate this stage. Honestly, I mean, I know I kind of say jokingly that I kind of hate things, kind of like going through, and there's a little bit jokingly, admittedly, there. This stage is there is no joking on this stage. I absolutely loathe this stage. It's not fun. Either with Mega Man or as bass. It's a little more tolerable with bass, and we'll see that a little bit later, but wow. Anyway, here's the second part of the level, and thankfully you do get a whole bunch of health refills and weapon refills, because you're likely to have used all your weapons just fumbling around in the dark trying to find out how on earth to hit the bloody boss. Stupid bubble bats that are just slightly out of range. But yeah, at least this part of the level is rather generous with its you know, weapon energy and health energy, because they're assuming that you're probably going to have used a lot of it up. And yeah, to get the health up there, just get out magic card, and yeah, it can as well as being used as a to attack, obviously in the different directions. You say you can fire it, and it will get weapon and energy pickup for you. This is one saving grace about this level. Use Ice Wall with Mega Man. Go over there and get that extra life. By the way, if you die. So if you die before on the King Tank, you would go back to the beginning of the stage. If you die on the boss we're coming up to next, which is the second one of the stage, of the 4, then you get sent back to the beginning of having just beaten the first King Tank. So get that extra life every freaking time. You effectively have infinite goes at it. If you remember to get that extra life, doesn't matter how many times you die on the next boss, you get that extra life, you'll always obviously have a life and left, and yeah, you won't run out. So that's one saving grace. Wouldn't climb the ladder for some reason. Now I'm just complaining about everything, but seriously, this stage is just too much. Yeah, so that's one saving grace on it. Anyway, this Tower of Tellys with a wave burner box, so just, or a fire box to get out of the wave burner. And yeah, apologies for the little cut here. I thought I would show off just how annoying this boss is, and I died 3 times on it, all thanks to these fists. So we'll talk about it in detail mostly, but I thought I'd at least show a montage of what goes on here. So basically, here is the fist being really freaking annoying. You saw it destroy a platform there. I will come back to that in a moment, because that's probably the main annoyance for Mega Man. But yeah, I died 3 times on this. I wasn't going to make you sit through, obviously, me going through all those boss fights and indeed replaying the levels again. So yeah, I went through the level the first time after I beat the tank. I died 3 times. This was the 4th time. I got it 4th go. That's actually not that bad for this boss fight, simply because it is just another pain in the neck, and there's not much you can really do about it if this King Tank Part 2 wants to be a giant jerk. So basically, you have these platforms which keep coming up from the ground, and I might as well talk about it first off. That sodding fist that he shoots out, not only does it just obviously get right in your way when you're trying to jump between platform to platform, but it can destroy the platform sometimes, leaving you absolutely no chance with Mega Man to be able to bridge the gap between the platforms. It's just the worst thing ever. It absolutely is. He also does these. He also sends out these flashes. So you can see him like shooting out these capsules here. So that was some. He does admittedly do it with health and weapon energy as well. But these other capsules, they send the screen to a flash, so you can't see what on earth you're doing. So you better be good on your placement and know where Mega Man is positioned. Look at that bloody fist there. Destroyed that platform. I just about had enough to reach it. Admittedly, it doesn't always result in death. If it does destroy a platform, you can make it if you're lucky, like I was there. But still, yeah, the flashes just completely obscure the vision for the entire screen. So, like I said, make sure you know where the platforms are, because otherwise you're going to be stuffed. He exposes this gem again, which now you can see is flashing, and it will. If you let it charge up enough, it will shoot out a giant laser, which hurts like absolute hell. It's probably one of the things that you take the most damage from in the entire game. Yeah, and all the while he floats up and down, and you've got this hit him in this bloody dome at the top of his head, which is so hard to hit with Mega Man. The charge shots seem to about do the only sort of enough damage to it, but they're either probably going to go over the dome, or they're going to hit the tank area and just bounce off. So it's incredibly hard to hit with Mega Man. It will be a lot easier to hit with Bass, and I'll explain why when we see Bass fight. But this fight is just. You almost have to feel like you have to get a little bit lucky to beat it. I mean, obviously there is some skill involved, but I think there is a good dose of luck. And incidentally, no health bar again, so you could just be fumbling around, just looking for weapons, doing God knows what. I mean, again, to be honest, I'd recommend just using charge shots. Remote mine the laser when it comes up, because it's a good way of taking that out quickly. But failing that, I'd just use charge shots. But yeah, you better be accurate with where they're shooting. Lovely little section there, by the way, in the 3rd part of the level with that ice block. Better time that quite well. Obviously, you could get out Ice Wall and do it that way, but yeah, I thought I would use the ice block from the generator. But yeah, hope your jumping timing is good. So that does bring us to the 3rd part of the level, and yeah, once again we've got like a telly tower climb. We've got to use the Ice Wall again lots of times because Mega Man can't make those jumps. Obviously, Bass can, but Mega Man can't. Ice Wall is going to be your, like I said, way back, probably in Part 2 when we first fought Cold Man. Ice Wall is going to be your friend. For this bit, get out a spread drill. I was worried, I was mucking around here, so apologies for a little delay. I was mucking around thinking which weapon energy or which weapon I wanted to replenish a bit. So yeah, get out the spread drill and yeah, it will destroy that block over there. Lovely little mess up on the timing here, where I put the ice wall in the worst possible really position with all these tellies flying around. So yeah, thought it would be best just to take out the tellies and reset it, just in case I messed up. You can't, of course, make this manoeuvre without the ice wall with Mega Man. So yep, Base of course can make it. We'll see how later. Obviously, it's pretty obvious how anyway. And one more use of the ice wall in this section there to take out that stupid goo enemy, which again reaches out and tries to grab you. So yeah, at least they're generous again at the end of the level. So yeah, chest there with health energy and 3 weapon energies pickups at the end. So yeah, and I just decided that I would probably fill up ice wall and remote mine, since that pretty much gets me to where I want to. Ugh. Time for a quote-unquote cutscene. Welcome. I never thought I would meet you here. I suppose that I have underestimated you. But your journey will come to an end here. You should feel honoured to be destroyed by the king. Okay, so time for a boss fight, although not really, so this is another dick move. This fight is unwinnable. Do not attack King. If you try and attack King, he will go back crab crazy and just cream you. So don't do anything. Just wait for 3 cycles of these X things to shoot at you. He will always do it 3 times. It'll always be the same pattern. So the first one goes down, second one goes down, third one goes up, fourth one goes down, fifth one goes up. So yeah, he might jump at you. Don't worry about that. He'll go back to the left-hand side of the screen. But based on the pattern of the X's, what you want to do is, based on where they go, is you want to jump the first 2, slide under the third one, jump the fourth one, slide under the 5th one. Once you've dodged 3 of those, another cutscene. I can handle this. It seems I have no other choice but to resort to extremes. Mega Man, stay back. I'll put my whole energy into the next shot. Wait! If you do that, you may overheat or explode. I owe this guy, and now it's time to pay him back. Funny, but so very reckless. Big Bang Strike. Well, at least his shield's destroyed. This can't be! Proto Man, are you alright? Ugh. Proto Man, let's evacuate now. Can you put your arm across my shoulders? What are you doing? Are you going to waste my sacrifice? You must finish him for me. Enough. So time for the real third boss fight, and yeah, I'm not going to muck around with this one, so yeah, get the use less energy for special weapons and get out Dynamo's weapon Lightning Bolt. Basically, just keep spamming the damn thing. It is definitely his weakness, and yeah, he'll basically get stunned. He'll just keep going from left to right of the screen, spinning his little axe around, and yeah, he basically won't be able to attack you. If you get him into if you don't get him into this kind of stun pattern or anything like that, his attacks are incredibly annoying, incredibly fast, do a lot of damage, are incredibly hard to avoid. So yeah, for goodness sake, just save yourself some time, some energy, and some hassle. Get out Dynamo's weapon Lightning Bolt and just spam it. Takes King out like nothing. You won. Why do you fight so hard for these pitiful humans? Robots are superior to humans. Superiority is not the point. Maybe, or maybe not. Just put me out of my misery. But before that, we'd better let him evacuate. That way he has a chance to be repaired. Oh, how nice. Don't worry about him. I beamed him out of the castle. After all, I am the Lord of Robots. That means that I don't want to see our species destroyed. King, let's evacuate together. Dr. Light can heal your wound. That isn't possible. I'll explode if anyone but Dr. Wily tries to operate on me. Dr. Wily created you?
King, what happened to you? Are your logic circuits damaged? Your enemy is right in front of you.
Ugh. I don't understand. Why do robots have to fight each other for the sake of the humans? Are you X in disguise?
Piece of junk. I'll boost your brainwashing level.
Which turns him purpley pink for some reason. And we're not done with the level! Yay! Well, we kind of guess we're done with the level, but no, we're not fully done with the stage. We've got one more boss, and goodness me, this is freaking annoying in its own way as well. Apologies, by the way, if any of those voices were different to how I actually portrayed them in video in part 1 of this Let's Play. I can't remember how on earth I did the voices for that, so yeah. Anyway, final boss. Oh, yay! King Tank 1, King Tank 2, and King, all in one. Yay! This has got a freaking health bar this time. And you do get a platform, which is incredibly annoying to get on. So, yeah, this boss is annoying simply because, well, that platform is incredibly hard to get on. Believe me, the timing to get on, to actually stand on that is actually freaking annoying. But anyway, basically his attacks are all really annoying. They all do lots of damage, and, yeah, they can be a pain in the neck to avoid. So, he can dash at you like that. Again, you'll hear the little kind of noise, which indicates that he's going to dash. If he does that, then you want to get over to the extreme left-hand edge of the screen, just so that you're out of range. You do not want him to pile drive into you. That will do mega damage, and you will be taking a crap ton of damage. So you've got to hit him with pretty much charge shots, because as you can see here, I was kind of hitting him with other things in his dome at the top, but didn't seem to be doing any damage. So it seems to be, again, I don't know if that's absolutely true, but seriously, you'll see during this fight that I seem to be sort of hitting him with the weaker sort of buster shots, but they don't seem to be doing any damage to him, so it only seems to be like the fully charged shots seem to be doing the trick. He shoots out these really freaking annoying white energy spheres, which flicker on and off, by the way, so that you can't actually really see them. So it might have looked like I got hit by nothing there. Trust me, I got hit by one of the stupid things. But yeah, they flip it in and out, so you can't really see them all that much. And they're incredibly hard to avoid, by the way. So yeah, just try and take them out as quickly as possible. This mine attack, a bomb attack that he does, he kind of shoots the bombs out from the ceiling. You can see where they're going to land with there being a shadow on the floor. So I would advise probably just getting to the left-hand side of the screen and standing under the platform. If there are any bombs, like I'm doing here, if there are any bombs that are going to land on you, they'll land on the platform instead, and you'll be in a safe spot. So that's how I would deal with that one. He also, again, has this gem opening up on his chest with a laser, so try and take that out as quickly as possible. Either charge shot it, or then obviously do a steady stream of pellet shots. Remote mine, again, is a pretty good choice for taking that out. You've kind of probably seen me do it at least 2 or 3 times at the moment. If you are going to use remote mine, try and make it so that it explodes, and you can obviously set the detonation for it, when he's actually moving to the left. So if you move when he's going to the right, the chances are that the full reach of the explosion will not hit him. The explosion will kind of take place in the middle of the screen, and he'll be moving back to the right, so he'll be away from it. However, if you detonate it while he's moving to the left, then the mine will do as much damage as possible. So you can see here that once I've shot it, I did it actually before, and it kind of didn't do too much. I actually let it off a bit early there, but anyway. Yeah, I exploded it while it was going to the right, and it didn't do quite so much damage. So yeah, if you are going to use remote mine on the gem to stop it doing its giant laser, which pretty much fills the screen, by the way. If the laser goes off, you're not going to avoid it. So yeah, just take out this gem as quickly as possible. Yeah, try and get it so when it's moving to the left, so that yeah, the full range of the explosion comes. Yeah, that's pretty much all I really want to say about this boss. It is kind of annoying to hit because of, again, the dough. It's got a pretty small weak spot in the sense that with the charge shots in particular as well, you are liable to either shoot over its head or liable to just shoot it a little bit low and it'll hit the tank and just bounce off and do absolutely nothing. So yeah, kind of annoying to hit. At this point in time, he's quite low on health. I'm quite high on health. So at this point in time, I just thought, I'll stuff it. I'm not even going to bother trying to like take out the laser or indeed the white pellets. I'm just going to go for him. Ugh. You should leave this place now. This place could explode at any moment. King, you must come with me. Of course. I'll leave this place too. But only after you go first. He's gone. I wish I had a transportation system in me. Goodbye, Mega Man. Don't let other robots suffer my sad fate. I'm counting on you. And that is the stage. Holy freaking hell. Only took 24.5 minutes or something like that to beat. Admittedly, I took way too long on taking out King Tank 1, but the rest of it went fine. You know, King Tank 2 I have no complaints about. King was fine. The levels bits were fine. And maybe that last fight went on a little bit. The combined King Tanks 1, 2 and King took a little bit longer. But it was other than the King Tank 1, the first boss fight, I don't think that level went that badly. But Jesus, even if that only took 3 minutes, 4 minutes, that boss fight, that would have taken, 3 or 4 minutes, that would have still taken 20 minutes to beat. It's just an absolutely ridiculous level. And oh yay, let's do it all again with bass. Now this does go by considerably quicker with bass. I do find this level much easier with bass. We'll see why a little bit later. That's despite the fact, by the way, that there are 4 boss fights, and as I said previously, that Mega Man usually has an easier time with boss fights as opposed to levels. Bass clearly has an easier time with levels as well. It doesn't have to go anywhere near that crap on the left-hand side of the screen. Just take the right path. Double jump. It comes in extremely handy, and you can avoid all the enemies and be on your merry way. One of the main reasons, actually, I'll explain why bass ends up being much easier to fight the bosses when we actually come to them. But yeah, as for the level, now that we've got bass's Super Buster, things just take a lot less time to destroy. He gets by through the level just so much quicker in the sense that he doesn't have to keep getting out Ice Wall. You know, we've had to use that about 50 times with Mega Man just throughout the level at various points in time, simply because he can't make the jumps. But with bass and his dash ability, his double jump ability, he can just pull them out or pull them off no problem. Oh goody, I'm glad to see you again. So, I'm not sure I have too much more to say on King Tank 1, frankly. I employ a slightly different strategy, I think. Having gone through the Mega Man go first, I've kind of felt like, okay, that fight, so I looked back at it obviously before I kind of did the base one, and I think I kind of figured that it took like 7 minutes or so to beat, and I was just like, okay, that's ridiculous. There's its dash, by the way. You didn't really get to see it in Mega Man 1 because I kind of took out the treads really early on, but yeah, that's how quick it moves. If it's gonna when it dashes at you. Incidentally, when the gem is open there, I was trying to force the King Tank all the way back to the right, so that when the mine exploded, it was moving to the right, so that again the damage would do the most, rather than moving to the left. Because again, if it moved backwards to the right, I was waiting for the King Tank to be all the way to the right, so that it couldn't back up any further, so that the explosion would get the most damage in. Because if I did it earlier and then it reversed, as it's liable to do, then the remote mine would just kind of explode at the point where it initially exploded, and the King Tank would go out of reach. But bass is a far easier time dealing with the rompers here, and also getting damage in on the back compartment. He also has a bit of an easier time, in theory, attacking the top there, although by doing so, I'm going to put myself in harm's way for the bombs that come down. But at this point in time, I've done a reasonable amount. I kind of felt like it was worth taking the risk. Also here, since the tank was further to the right-hand side, when it was shooting, it wasn't really going to get me with its diagonally downward ones. I felt, okay, fine, I will take a bit of a risk. I will kind of jump up and try and hit the gem and get some damage in there. I could have done there as well. I kind of chickened out. I kind of felt, well, bass seems to take more damage than Mega Man as well. It just seems that way. And he also has absolutely no way of healing bass as well. Admittedly, when I said that I don't really want to waste Eddie at this point in time with Mega Man, at least he is there. If I do want to go gung ho. And try and at least get some damage in. But with bass, there is absolutely no way to heal, none whatsoever. So I'm being really cautious here to try and not take too much damage. But the bass buster does make it a little bit easier to actually attack the jewel here with the gun. It also makes it easier in theory to attack the dome the dome at the top. So I can just kind of hold the button down and layer the shots on. I don't have to kind of wait for an opportune moment, which I would have to do with just the Mega Buster using charge shots. At this point in time, I've taken out the front as well. So I kind of feel like for the most part I can hang around at the front here and kind of wait for the dome to kind of appear, and I should be okay because it's not going to charge at me. It's also now not going to shoot at me. So yeah, it's still a bit of a hell of a thing to try and get the move you want. So again, here I'm desperately trying to wait for the thing to shoot out of the back of the compartment, or do its dome while it's a bit further away to the right hand, or a bit further over the left hand side. But no, It just decided, oh no, I'm going to shoot. I'm just going to go all the way back to the right, make me really nervous that it's going to run into me, and yeah. So I had to kind of backtrack to avoid taking damage. Here's what I was probably explaining with the remote mine. That was detonated off screen, so I don't believe it did actually any damage at all. I was also a bit late there, recognising that it was the romper attack, so yeah, I didn't really get too much damage in there either. But there we are again. Look, I wanted to jump. I thought the dome might come up, so I could actually hit it with either the remote mine or the base buster, but no, chose the rompers. So again, I am getting unlucky with the attacks it's doing. As I say, it always seems to be that way. I don't know what else I can really say about this boss. It is just annoying, tedious, and God knows what. At this point in time, I thought, right, okay, surely he must be close to dead. I'll stick around on the ladder. I'll probably take damage from the bloody bombs, but at least the thing will detonate while the mine's on screen. So at this point in time, I'm too low. If I'm right at the bottom and it detonates, I'm too low. It will not do the damage. So I have to be high enough up for the mine to register. So that's another ridiculously annoying thing about it as well. So yeah, keep plugging away with remote mine, keep plugging away with the base buster. Hopefully you've got the super base buster that will make make your life a lot easier. But seriously, I actually feel like this boss, certainly with base. I probably have to think a little bit about Mega Man, but I still think I prefer this fight. The King 2 over King Tank 1 over King Tank. Sorry, King Tank 2 over King Tank 1 with Mega Man. It's just it's just tedious. It is ridiculously tedious, as is the stage as a whole. But you think that would probably be it when you're going through. You just think like, oh my goodness, what an absolutely ridiculous boss. But seriously, you're not even about a third or a quarter of the way through the stage. You've got 2 more bits of level to do and 3 bosses. Why, Capcom? Anyway, back to the level, and yeah, again, just make sure you collect that extra life. Another one that dropped for me, that was nice of me. But yeah, keep collecting the extra life. If you happen to die to the King Tank 2 boss, then at least you will. Yeah, if you keep collecting extra life, you won't ever got to get a game over. Because if you get a game over, by the way, of course you have to do the stage all the way from the beginning again. No one wants to sit through King Tank 1 all over again. Basically, it's a little bit of an easier time dealing with the tellies, just because you can shoot in every which way direction. Get out Wave Burner and don't accidentally dash. And that brings us to the end of the part 2 of the level. So that brings us to King Tank 2. And here is one of only 2 changes, as far as I'm aware, that the game made between Mega Man's playthrough and Base's playthrough. So you can see here clearly the platforms are spread out. Or spread out a bit more, so that, yeah, and that's obviously because Base has a double jump, he also has a dash, Mega Man doesn't. So, yeah, they did at least change that for Mega Man, just so that some of these jumps wouldn't be absolutely ridiculous. But despite that, it's still a much harder fight with Mega Man. This is the most timid fight ever, by the way. I've got to point this out. So here's one fist. Here's a second fist. That's it, literally. He might send out a few of the flash things, but no more fists, no charging laser. All he does is bob up and down. I cannot believe how timid he was in this fight. It's ridiculous. But despite the fact the platforms are further apart, with Base's double jump and his dash, even if a fist destroys a platform or you get hit by it, you can use your double jump to regain a bit of momentum and stuff like that. If you get hit with a fist with Mega Man, you're absolutely stuffed. But in terms of damage as well, the problem with Mega Man, as I was saying, is you pretty much have to use like charge shots to hit that small dome, and you only get one chance at it. If it goes over its head, you've missed it. If it hits the King Tank, just below the dome, it will bounce off and you won't hit it, so you've missed your chance. With Base, all you got to do is hold down the buster. He'll shoot a spread of bullets. It doesn't matter if some go over the dome, the dome's head, or reflect off the tank. One of them is bound to connect, provided you're not terrible. So you're going to constantly do damage. It's just so much easier to hit this thing with Base. Its Base Buster seems to do a bit more damage than the Charge Mega Buster as well. Or whether that is just simply because you get far more opportunity to hit it. With Mega Man, you really have to time your moments pretty well in order to get your hits in. But with Base, it's far less like that. I actually have no problem with King Tank 2 with Base. It's a reasonably fun fight actually. With Mega Man, not so much in the slightest. But as I say, I would definitely prefer King Tank 2 over King Tank 1 with Base. I'm probably still with Mega Man, but yeah, to be debated. And just because I can, here's me showing off, getting through that bit with Base, although admittedly my heart was in my mouth there. I thought I'd screwed up that jump. That would have been a lovely little mess up for you to have caught. Never mind, you'll just have to console yourself with my colossal mess up on destroying this treasure chest. I'm not actually sure whether I've shown off at any point in time, and I use showed off in loosely because I did not mean to show it off, just my ridiculous clumsiness. But yeah, if it is one of the ones that kind of comes to life, springs to life. Oh, once wasn't enough, by the way, so here it is for the second time. It will just kind of grab onto you for about 2 or 3 seconds. It's incredibly hard to hit or shake off, so yeah, it will just kind of keep chomping away at you and keep being really freaking annoying. But oh well, yeah, at least I got to show that off for you. Once again, use Spread Drill on the block, and yeah, Base of course can just use his double jump to get through that, no problem. So, I don't know whether I'm going to do... I'd probably go through all the dialogue again, why the hell not? There might be some slightly different lines, but yeah, we've kind of seen all this before for the most part, but yeah, I just took the opportunity here to fill up on my remote mines pretty much, because I thought I was going to use them. We're probably going to need to use them quite a bit for King Final Fight. Welcome. I never thought I would meet you here. I suppose that I have underestimated you. But your journey will come to an end here. You should feel honoured to be destroyed by the king. So, once again, the fake out, which is just a complete dick move, because how are you supposed to know this is here? Your natural instinct is going to be to attack King, but yeah, for goodness sake, don't. I mean, you'll probably try all manner of things as well. Again, at this point in time, he's got no health bar. You're probably not thinking anything of it, having just beaten 2 King tanks which didn't have health bars. So you're probably not. So you're not thinking anything of it. So yeah, just don't be tempted to try out any weapons or Base Buster or Mega Man's Buster or anything like that. Just don't do anything. You have to avoid 3 cycles or survive through 3 cycles, and you'll progress through the cutscene. And of course, with the pattern is exactly the same. So you'll shoot the X's exactly the same, but for Base, because he hasn't got a slide, just double jump over everything. So yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, double jump over the lot. And Proto Man comes in again. I can handle this. It seems I have no other choice but to resort to extremes. Base, stay back. I'll put my whole energy into the next shot. Proto Man, you don't need to do that. I'll destroy King by myself. I owe this guy, and now it's time to pay him back. Funny, but so very reckless. Big Bang Strike. As if that wasn't funny enough the first time. This can't be. What? What power? Ugh. Proto Man stole the spotlight. Base, the show is not over yet. He is still alive. That's 1 down, and now you are next. So in between the sort of mini non-winnable fight there, you would have seen me kind of switch between, or switch out my special ability, so I've equipped the, again, use less weapon energy, because if you don't, then Thunderbolt will run out. So you can kind of see how low it's going to be when I actually end up defeating King here in this fight. But yeah, same principle basically. You don't have to kind of be double jumping in the air, or indeed jumping in the air like I did with Mega Man, but it just looks so much cooler. You can be along the ground, but yeah, I just thought, hey, let's be really cool. Let's double jump in the air and have that pose. Yeah, you can see how little lightning bolt was left at the end there. You won. Why do you fight so hard for these pitiful humans? Robots are superior to humans. But it is humans who created us. Maybe, or maybe not. Just put me out of my misery. But before that, we'd better let him evacuate. That way he has a chance to be repaired. Don't worry about him. I beamed him out of the castle. After all, I am the Lord of Robots. That means that I don't want to see our species destroyed. Before I go, you must tell me something. Who is your father? Who created you? What if I say it's Dr. Wily? What?
King, what happened to you? Are your logic circuits damaged? Your enemy is right in front of you.
I don't understand. Why do robots have to fight each other? Blah 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 X.
Piece of junk. I'll boost your brainwashing level.
And so, one last fight again. Slightly less annoying, I guess, with Base than Mega Man. It is different. So this is, again, I talked about the platforms in the King Tank 2 fight being one of the changes, and this, as far as I'm aware, is the other one. So of course, because Base has a double jump, there is no platform here to stand on. So yeah, Base has to just make do with, or there's no, yeah, make do with what he's got. But just to make things really fun, you can't just double jump up and hit the dome, because that doesn't quite get Base enough height. So no, what you have to do is dash at the same time as well. So dash, jump, and double jump, and you'll just get that little bit of extra height. Yeah, so that's what you need to do, and yeah, just jump up and yeah, hit him in the dome again. All his attacks are pretty much the same, so take out the laser as quick as possible. You do not want that going off. He will shoot these. He will shoot these kind of bombs. Of course, now you haven't got a platform to hide under, so you do have to be a bit more careful in dodging them. He will also shoot out the white kind of spheres, which are again incredibly hard to see. These do travel a lot faster, so I think I'm getting dots. It looks like absolutely flipping nothing, but again, I assure you they are there. But yeah, they move a lot faster. And he also does this bloody dash thing, which is incredibly hard to avoid with Base, because you've got no platform to stand on. And I'm not going to, yeah, this is effectively pretty much the same thing, so, yeah, basically, yeah, okay, fine, I'm not going to go through all that. But he does the same thing, so King will basically tell Base, you go, I'll teleport after you, blah, 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 blah. But yeah, I just wanted to touch on that last point. When the King Tank kind of dashes across, you need to be kind of, obviously you can't be like the immediately fast to the left as you were with Mega. Obviously you have to be kind of like in the air as well, because the King Tank goes all the way across to the left hand side, whereas Mega Man you could just be on the left hand side, either on the platform or under it, and you were fine, but not with Base. So yeah, you've got to time that as well. And holy freaking hell, I haven't got long for goodbyes, but yeah, that's King 2. Wouldn't you know, Wily's behind everything. And yeah, next time, final part of this Let's Play, we'll go take out Wily. Holy freaking hell, that stage is too long. Cheerio.